Today's lab is ListLab1. Before we start the ListLab1 extended, we can look at what ListNode class we are going to use first. ListNode class is what College Board is using. Then this ListNode class is like a regular resource class, which has two private field, object value, and ListNode next. Then two argument constructor. Then it has two accessor method and two modifier methods. So we can just use it as a regular resource class. Only one thing, it's a private field, so you cannot access the value next directly. So we have to use accessor or modifier method to change the value. Then, if we look at exercises first, when we draw a picture of the linked list constructed by following comments, so ListNode P and ListNode A, I can make the two objects first. P is pointing board as an object and has null. Then A is having college as a string object, then pointing P. So we can see this one has the linked list. Link is college and board. And linked list name can be A. So when you pass A, A's link will be passed. So college board will be passed. And number two, we are going to implement copy node, copy list, and one more method on the back that is a REST method. Copy node method is making a copy. That means you need to make sure you are going to copy hard copy, like a deep copy, not the shallow copy. Shallow copy means copy just a reference. So when you change the real object, every reference has the changed value. Deep copy means each one has its own object. So you are going to change one object, then it does not affect to the other object. So we are going to work on the copy first. You can think about whenever you write a method, the first thing you need to think about is if there is any special case. So in the copy node, the special case will be if it's null or not. If it's null, I cannot access the object or next because null does not have private fields. So I need to check the special case first. I can write down like if arg is null, return null. In this case, you don't have to copy it. Then else case, or if I already returned, it does not go to the else anyway. So I can just write my code. When you copy it, you are supposed to make the new object by getting the value and ListNode. If you look at the ListNode constructor, it is getting object first. So you're going to copy object first. So arg dot get value. So method name is here, get value. And you're going to copy arg dot get next. So you copied those two and you made the ListNode object, then you are going to return this object. This is how to make a copy node, just one node is copied. This part, I can say copy node. Now the second one, how about when I want to copy list? That means I probably need to copy the whole list. You can use a loop, but if I want to, I cannot use the for loop, and also the instruction said recursive. That means I'm going to copy first one and second to the last, I'm going to copy by calling the copy list method. Let's think about the situation. If I have arg or head, let's say head. If I have a head is pointing A, B, C. What I want to copy is first time I want to copy only A. Then I'm going to copy the rest of them and connect to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the new list node, I can say I copy A, then the rest. The rest will be copy B, then the rest. So the rest will be copy list of B. So pointing the B. So not the value B. So let's just say the pointer P is pointing B. That means copy list P. The rest of them you are going to pass. Actually, P means A is next. So instead of P, head dot, get next. Or my list node name is arg, so arg dot, get next. Next time my arg will be the B node, and arg dot next will be C node. So this is the idea. Copy the value, then the rest. Copy the value and the rest. So let's write the code about this. So for the copy list, I also need to think about the special case. Special case will be if I do not have anything to copy, because I have to go back. Then when I copy B, then the rest will be C, then the rest is null. So this will be my base case for this recursive method. So whenever I meet the base case, I have to done. If my next is null, just return null. That means copy C, then null will be the next. So it matches with my C node. So base case first, if arg is null, return null. If arg is not null, I'm going to return new list node, new list offset, copy the current one's value, arg dot get value, then I'm going to copy, call this copy list again, this method. So copy list by passing the rest, that means my arg is next. So pass arg dot get next. So this is the copy list method. Now let's think about the next method, the rest method. Rest method is having the list node and head. So it's going to return a new linked list containing copies of each node in the original list except the first one. That means I'm going to copy from the second one. Rest method, there will be two special cases. Special cases, first one will be null, arg is null, or h is null. Or second case is next is null. That means it has only one node. H is just pointing only one node. In this case, the second one is null, so this is also special case. Then how can I implement this one? When it is the regular case, so for example, when H has A, B, C, what this means, it needs to copy only B and C. But it says it's recursive. Then I have to skip the first one. So when I skip the first one, it's recursive. If it skips B again, it's gonna return only C. It's not good. So what we're going to do is, at the first time, you're going to copy the second one, and second time you also need to copy the second one. That means you have to pass A. So C will be, so A is next, so C will be copied. And the next time you're going to pass the B is next, so you're going to copy the null. So you're going to pass one before to copy the rest of them, to copy C correctly, because it is jumping each time. So I'm going to think about how to write the code of this situation. If I write down the code, first the special case first. So in the REST method, I can say if h is null or h.getNext is null, return null. That's the special cases. Then in the else, I'm going to return new list node. I'm going to, when I am h, I'm going to copy b as the value because that is the first one. So h dot get next, that is the second node, dot get value. Then when I call the rest, if I pass b, c will be skipped, so I have to pass a 1 before. So when I pass age next, it's pointing b, so it's going to skip b, then copy the c. So I'm going to pass h dot get next. Then finish this parenthesis and done. Your job is making 6 more methods. So there's a first, second, pointer to last. Pointer to last, pointer to last is just pointing, but copy of last means copy the last node. So you have to use make a new list node object. Insert first. You need to make sure the link is not broken, so you can refer the previous lecture note. Insert last. You have to go through all the way to the end, then you are going to add it. So you probably need multiple pointers, like 2 pointers. One is pointing next, one is pointing previous. It's up to you how to implement. Then after you're done, you are going to submit. There is a sample run output. Main method is given. After you are done each method, you can check by uncommenting. Then all your method will be after print method. That means you can see all the methods are static method. This is just the application driver. Then make sure you have the same output.